Things have been getting very weird and mysterious lore-wise in the entity's realm. If you somehow don't know the mysterious case that's been going on around the DVD community, it's that Maurice is missing all of a sudden. Now before I go into detail, if you don't know or forgot who Maurice is, or was I should say, Maurice was a demonic and rotten horse with a third eye who lied in the caravan on Father's Campbell's chapel. Now you're probably wondering why Maurice has a third eye in the first place, but according to this article G Infinity, Maurice the horse was a fun demonic horse character that was hidden at the back of Father's Campbell's chapel, one of two maps in the Crotus Pen Asylum. Maurice had 3 eyes, one of which allowed the entity to see out into the world. That's how the entity could see through the realm, but why if it's, well, its own realm? And why Maurice in particular instead of anything else? What makes Maurice so important is the suspenseful part. Now my first take on Maurice missing is that this might all connect to some future original chapter being teased, or who knows, maybe Behavior's own Headless Horseman. Headless Horseman maybe is a bit far-fetched, but this may definitely lead to something. One of the Dredge's animations while waiting in the killer lobby features Maurice flopping out of the Dredge's darkness only to be pulled back in. This means that Dredge definitely has something to do with the disappearance of Maurice, or at least that's how it looks like. Mind you, this isn't the first time that the Dredge had some connection with something or someone from the realm. It looks like Dredge also had appeared in Michaela's lore as stated here. Panicked, he shook her shoulders to wake her, but stopped when she began to scream. He grabbed his phone to call an ambulance, but a powerful crash diverted his attention. He looked down the hallway and saw a large spidery fang slam through the bathroom door. The fact that Dredge had and now has connections to the entity's realm to then later be a part of it makes this case more confusing, because for something, that something being Maurice, to be here so long just for the Dredge, a new killer at the time, to take hold of it for some reason really does bend my mind a bit. It makes me think that Roots of Dredge can be getting a sequel chapter or something heavily connected to that chapter specifically, and this chapter will consist more of Maurice. Similar to how Cursed Legacy is connected to Shattered Bloodlines, being that the Oni is the ancestor of the spirit. What makes me think that something can definitely be going on here is that they letting it be known so distinctively. You see how when Oni was getting teased and they made it very clear that Blade was missing in the Yomoka estate? The same thing is happening here, but it's very in our faces. This all just sort of happened out of nowhere. Not to sound repetitive, but Blight, the alchemist before release at the time, was being teased in the tomes to later be a killer after release of Silent Hill chapter. So I wouldn't be surprised if Maurice can correlate to a chapter of some sort, and that being tied to the Dredge or something like that. There are other known Easter eggs in the game like the weeping statues and the lady crying in the bathroom in Silent Hill, but they don't hold any impact at all, at least not that I know of at the moment. I always thought it would be cool for those weeping statues to have a bigger context behind them instead of just being a simple but creepy Easter egg. Maurice being an Easter egg clearly has much more of the devs' attention because they want our attention to be on Maurice. So we have no choice but to sit here and speculate what can be going on here. But that's what interests me the most, is that we don't. My last theory on this topic is that Benedict Baker has something to do with Maurice missing. If you're a pretty new player and didn't know who Benedict Baker was, Benedict Baker was an unseen character in Dead by Daylight. He was prominently known for providing most of the lore bits and pieces strewn throughout the game that describe the entity's realm and its mechanics. But this is where it gets interesting. Followed after that, it says this. These quotes are generally featured at the top of character and prop pages, however only to the release of chapter 8, Curtain Call, after which his quotes stopped appearing for newer additions to the realm. It is unknown what happened to him. Benedict had to disappear before the clown's arrival featuring Maurice. I don't know about you, but that's very sus to me. If Benedict Baker is somehow connected to Maurice, it just makes me wonder if Behavior really went all out to this low-key hint and tease what's going on with Maurice now for so long. Like, did they actually note that on a specific day that Maurice will go missing? It all doesn't add up, but adds up at the same time. This makes me believe that Benedict Baker even knows what happened to Maurice, or better yet, he is Maurice. I mean, that would be crazy, right? But in all seriousness, it is kind of sus that Benedict Baker was talking about his experiences, sharing his knowledge about the entity realm, only to disappear up to Curtain Call, the chapter which contains Maurice. So for Benedict to vanish and then years later for Maurice to vanish as well is pretty odd, not gonna lie. But we will just wait and see what this tome all about Maurice has to bring us. My theory is that Maurice is strongly connected to the entity in some shape or form, but was a real horse at first before the entity had interest in him. That can explain why Maurice looks the way he looks. I at first thought Maurice was being brought up because of the night, but for what reason the entity wants Maurice is a complete mystery. Please let me know what you guys think down below about this mysterious case. Love y'all, take care, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace.
To the beat, y'all.
Check it out.
Come on. 1, 2.